was the year, recreating notable events of passing time, reviving memories of men and women who have contributed to the history of a modern world. 1913, that was the year. February 11.
Taro Katsura, Premier of Japan, and the members of his cabinet placed their signatures to their final resignations, leaving the vacancies to be filled immediately by Count Tatsuo Yamamoto and his colleagues.
Far across the Pacific Ocean, President Francisco I. Madero of the Republic of Mexico sits in his office within the ornate National Palace on the very site of the residence of Montezuma.
Senor Presidente, Senor Madero.
Well, what is it?
Look, here is a copy of the telegram General Diaz sent yesterday to President Taft of the United States.
You can give assurance to your citizens that my future policy will be to protect American property and citizens in Mexico like I did when I was in control of the port of Veracruz. Signed, Felix Diaz.
You know what this means, Senor?
Yes, I know. Diaz and Huerta are assuming that their revolution against my government is successful. Well, it shall not be. I will fight them to the last. They want me to resign. I will not resign. I was elected by the people. I am the constituted president. I will die before I will resign.
But on February 18, after a bloody engagement in the streets of the capital...
You will place your signature there, Senor Madero.
There, I have done it. I have resigned. Now, General Huerta, what next?
Next. Comandante, you will escort the prisoner to the penitentiary.
Prisoner?
You are under arrest, senor. You, your Vice President, Senor Suarez, and all your cabinet. Comandante, take charge. President William H. Taft, Washington, D.C., USA. I have the honor to inform you that I have overthrown this government. The forces are with me, and from now on, peace and prosperity will reign. Victoriano Huerta, Provisional President, the Republic of Mexico.
But peace and prosperity proved elusive. 5 days later, ex-President Madero and his ex-Vice President were shot to death. Their assassination explained...
They have been killed while trying to escape.
Thus, the Republic of Mexico contributed her share to the growing turbulence of world affairs in 1913.
1913, that was the year?
London, February 26.
Mrs. Pankhurst, in the name of the Crown, I arrest you for inciting persons to do malicious damage to property. If you are granted bail, will you refrain from political activities pending your trial?
Certainly not.
Then you shall be held without bail.
I repudiate the right of the local authorities to try me. Because I'm a woman, I've no control over their appointment. I refuse to conform to the prison discipline while on remand. I shall take no food from the moment I enter prison. If I am alive when the time for the so-called trial arrives, the judge, counsel, and jury of men will have the shameful task of pretending to give a fair trial to a sick and undefended woman.
Militant English suffragette Emmeline Pankhurst was brought to trial. The usual decorum of British justice continually disrupted throughout the proceedings by demonstrations by her colleagues. On the final day, April 3...
Order! Order! I must have order! There will be order in this court.
Human life is in peril. We have resolved no longer to respect it. Trouble of all sorts must be faced.
Order! Order!
What we women intend to do will be the coming reign of terror.
Order! Order! As justice here, I positively insist there be no more outbursts. The defendant will face the court. Have you anything to say before sentence is passed upon you?
I most certainly have. This movement will go on whether I live or die. These women will go on until women have obtained the common right of citizenship throughout a civilized world.
Is that all?
Yes, for the time being.
I must pass a severe sentence on you. If you would only realize the wrong you are doing and use your influence in the right direction, I should be the first to use my best endeavors to secure a mitigation of your sentence. I cannot and will not regard your crime as trivial. It is a most serious one. I therefore sentence you to serve 3 years in penal servitude for inciting persons
Penal
to do
servitude!
malicious damage.
I'll fight! I'll fight! I'll fight!
After serving only 5 months of her sentence, during which she pursued her usual course of a hunger strike, Mrs. Pankhurst sailed for the U.S. As she landed at New York City...
Mrs. Pankhurst, have you ever been convicted of arson?
I have not. My last conviction was for conspiracy. There is a long list of crimes in England for which they convict women now. Just relics of the time when men were fighting for suffrage.
Mrs. Pankhurst, I'm sorry to inform you that it is my duty to detain you and escort you to Ellis Island, where you will appear before the Board of Special Inquiry. At that time, your right to enter the United States will be decided.
Well, I'm very much surprised to hear that I'm not to be permitted to land in what has always been described to me as a free country. I would not allow unjust detention in England, and I'll not suffer it in the United States. I didn't come to interfere with the business of the American women. It is their business to get the vote for themselves.
But the Goddess of Liberty smiled, and after a detention of but 3 days, Mrs. Pankhurst was admitted to the U.S. 3 years later, in 1918, Mrs. Pankhurst smiled. The right of suffrage was granted to English women over the age of 30.
1913, that was the year.
O thou tomorrow, mystery, O day that ever runs before, what hast thine hidden hand in store for mine tomorrow and for me? O thou tomorrow, what hast thou in store to make me bear the now?
Cincinnatus Heine, age 71, passed away in Oakland, California on February 17. The world knew him as Joaquin Miller, the poet of the Sierras, and the world mourned as his ashes were cast to the winds from the crest of one of the peaks in the Sierra Mountains he so loved.
1913, that was the year.
That America experienced the Terpsichorean metamorphosis from the quadrille, the lancers, the waltz, to ragtime. From the dank, dismal dives of southern side streets and alleys, there arose a new and raucous genus of American dances. New York's Tin Pan Alley took the shoulder-shaking infant to its bosom with gladsome cries of praise. Israel Ballin began writing syncopated tunes under the name of Irving Berlin, and the nation shuffled, shoved, shambled, and shook to a series of animal dances. The bunny hug, the horse trot, the crab step, the kangaroo dip, the camel walk, the fish walk, the chicken scratch, the lame duck, the snake, the grizzly bear, the turkey trot, and the foxtrot. Lyrics were bereft of reason, if not rhyme. But 1913, ragtime was more than mere music, far greater than just a series of new dance steps. Even Vernon and Irene Castle, attempting to inject grace and charm into ballroom antics, couldn't stem the tide. For ragtime was an index of a national mood, a criterion of American frame of mind, a forerunner of jazz and swing.
1913, that was the year.
A torrential March rain swept down into the valleys of Ohio and Indiana, costing a loss of 3,500 lives, property damage of more than $50 million.
That was the year?
The White House, Washington, D.C., October 10, a few moments before 2 p.m.
I have Galveston on the wire, Mr. President.
Are they ready, Mr. Smithers?
Hello, Galveston. Is the cable ready? Yes, sir. Everything is set. I'll give the warning. All right, Mr. Wilson. It's 2 o'clock.
4,000 miles from the scene, President Woodrow Wilson touched the button which set off 8 tons of dynamite, destroying the Gamboa Dike, the last obstruction to navigation from Atlantic to Pacific through the Panama Canal.
1913. That was the year?
That the silver screen shone with the smiling countenance of America's sweetheart, Little Mary, Mary Pickford. That other famous movie names were J. Warren Kerrigan, Alice Joyce, Carlisle Blackwell, Bronco Billy.
And that was the year?
That for the first time in history, a U.S. president rode to his inauguration in an automobile instead of a horse-drawn carriage. Amazed citizens gazed in wonder, realized that, after all, the horseless carriage was probably here to stay, and sang...
Johnny O'Connor bought an automobile.
He took his sweetheart for a ride
one Sunday. Johnny was togged up in his best Sunday clothes. She nestled close to his side. Things went just dandy till he got down the road.
Then something happened to the
old machinery. That engine got his goat. Off went his hat and coat. Everything needed repairs. He'd have to get under, get out and get under, to fix his little machine.
He was just dying to cuddle his queen.
But every minute, when he'd begin it, he'd have to get under, get out and get under. Then he'd get back at the wheel.
A dozen times they'd start to hug and kiss, and then the darn old engine, it would miss, and then
he'd have to get under, get out and get under, and fix up his automobile. Millionaire Wilson said to Johnny one day,
"Your little sweetheart don't
appreciate you. I have a daughter who is hungry for love. She likes to ride by the way." Johnny had visions of $1 million in gold.
He took her riding in his
little auto, but every time that he went to say marry me, was the old story again. He'd have to get under, get out and get under, to fix his little machine.
He was just dying to cuddle his queen.
But every minute, when he'd begin it, he'd have to get under, get out and get under. Then he'd get back at the wheel.
A dozen times they'd start to hug and kiss, and then the darn old engine, it would miss, and then
he'd have to get under, get out and get under, and fix up his automobile.
VintageRadioshows.com